Across the year, Kenya has been on permanent alert.
We've been able to arrest or capture more than 200 Al-Shabaab terrorists. We're going to get rid of Al-Shabaab once and for all.
The terror attack at Garissa University College changed everything.
We should defy this act of evil.
That resolve stronger than the deep wounds terrorists inflicted on Kenyans.
It cannot happen again. No Garissa attack, no Westgate attack.
There is no government in the world which ever will accept to be defeated by terrorists.
Elgon Hostel, now renamed Ewazanyiro, was in the eye of the storm on the 2nd of April this year. At the crack of dawn, 124 students had been massacred here. Others were killed at lecture halls alongside 4 policemen, bringing the death toll to 147.
I was the first person to count all the bodies. It was something you cannot imagine.
I was affected, truly speaking, for 3 weeks. It's like if I go to bed, I don't sleep. My eyes are just the same.
Abdul Rahman Hamo, the Dean of Students at the institution, was needed to identify the deceased and confirm the identity of the survivors.
And actually that is how I happened to identify one of a person who was suspected to be a terrorist. When I said he's not a student, he pretended to be a student, but he was not a student.
The cooks had already started preparing meals when the university came under siege.
Waliingia 5:30. Sasa nivyo walikuja sisi sasa tulikuwa ndani. Sasa tukakaa paka saa 4 ndo tukakolewa na KDF.
Tulizima hiyo moto, tukazima kila kitu, tukamwagia maji, tukajificha tu hapa chini.
They remained still for hours. Meanwhile, the soldiers, the police and the elite wrecker squad battled the terrorists who from this vantage position took the university hostage for nearly 10 hours.
The scream of the students.
Where was help? Why should it take us 6 hours to get people from Nairobi to Garissa? We have a Kenya Air Force based at Isili. The wrecker squad is in Ruiru. Why do they have to pass Isili to go to Wilson Airport?
They were still thinking the damage could have been more from friendly fire than trying to get the terrorists.
We have learned a lesson from whatever happened in the past. And the government highly regrets of what happened. There was loopholes. There were loopholes here and there. There was a bit of negligence here. Officers here have been sacked for negligence.
Eight months have passed since that day of horror. The path to healing may have been long and winding, but Garissa University College is determined to get back on its feet. A fresh coat of paint giving this institution a new face, barring the memory of that horrific past.
We are trying to rebrand the university so that it looks different what it was before. Of course, there are colors that people are used to in the past. I want them to see a new Garissa University College that has changed, that is back to life, that's rejuvenating.
A lot of cleaning up, a lot of prayers and a lot of courage, and the university is ready to reopen its doors to its new and old students, a statement of triumph over terror.
Most likely we are going to open in January, and hopefully by March or June next year we'll be able to get our charter and we're going to be fully fledged university. Of course, most lecturers are non-locals and they're determined to come back because they have seen that we have made arrangements, security arrangements are already in place. We have put our police station where we have 16 officers and with an inspector in-house.
With its old students already absorbed into Moi University's main campus in Eldoret, Garissa University College can only have a new intake around September next year.
And hopefully we will appeal to Kenyans and to the parents whose children will be admitted here to allow them to come to Garissa. It's just like going to be like in an other university. So we feel safer than even other university in the country right now.
They will meet old students like Donald Waigai, a police officer pursuing a bachelor's business management course. He was one of the university's 40 privately sponsored students.
So are you looking forward to the reopening of the school?
Really, it has really excited us, especially the PSSP students, because we had been forgotten completely. Forgotten because we were not reallocated like the other government-sponsored students. We have really lost a lot of time. You can imagine I've lost a lot of in terms of time, money, because even some of us had paid the school fees. And now that these are money which are now lying idle there without even generating any income or any interest.
The university's catering team has come in advance to cook for police officers, the new and permanent residents of this institution.
We had to provide for them so that they take care of us. I had to come back.
Nilichukua long time kufikiria kuja, sababu nikaona sasa tena kuja hapa itakuwa shida, lakini marafiki zangu wakaniambia hakuna shida, sababu iko mapolisi nini.
Siku ya kwanza wakuje Garissa walikuwa wanastuka, hata niambia tulale kwa keja. Saa moja ikifika wananiambia funga mlango, funga nini dirisha, ati tunaogopa. Naambia hakuna kitu, wewe mlale tu freshly. Lakini walikuwa wanastuka, lakini saizi wanakaa hapo hata usiku wanatembea hata.
We said that we must also defend our non-Muslim brothers. Whenever we see anything, we alert them, we'll have to be with them. And whoever wanted to do anything to them must do to us first.
Outside the university, the town of Garissa is also recovering from that blow that had led to a mass exodus of non-locals, most of whom civil servants.
But we are quickly waking up from that. And indeed, without doubt, we'll go back to our running speed.
The streets remain busy even into the night. A newlywed couple's convoy makes rounds in these streets that were once deserted by nightfall.
I can confidently say that Garissa or Northeastern today is more secure than even Nairobi. I feel more secure when I'm in Garissa and Northeastern than when I'm in Nairobi, personally. Because apart from those terrorism issues, there's no other crime here.
We will soon be holding our first major investors conference, sometimes in the first quarter of the year, just to showcase Garissa once again as a peaceful destination, as a destination for good business.
At the livestock market, the volume of transactions is said to be increasing by the day.
Because of the closeness of Garissa to Nairobi, as I said, only 4 hours drive, we get a lot of buyers coming from the other parts of Nairobi. ASAL regions supply 70% of the meat requirements of this country. And we say 70% of that 70% comes from Garissa County.
This is Garissa's Soko Mukti.
Tunashukuru Mungu, alhamdulillah, amani imerudi. Paka saa 9 ya usiku ninafanya kazi hapa, naitisha boda yangu, naelekea nyumbani kwangu bila wasiwasi yote.
The community here now welcoming Kenyans from other regions back to Garissa.
Raia hatuna shida na wale ambao wa Kenya don Kenya ingine. Hatuna shida ingine. Wachache ndio walikuwa mbaya. Raia yote habana mbaya. Wachache ndio walikuwa mbaya.
Hata si kukimbia ati nikaenda nyumbani mimi. Hapana, kwa sababu unjui unaongopa nini? Wewe unaweza kuongopa mtu sana. Huwezi. Tena utakupa siku moja. Na tulikuwa tunakimbia na saa 10 ikifika hivi sisi tunarudi kazi na tunaendelea na kazi nzuri sana.
She comes to the market every day by 5 a.m. without fear.
Na saa hii jeshi iko ndani. Sisi tunaendelea na kazi kwa sababu tunajua jeshi ikiingia hivi hakuna shida.
Ambassador Mahmoud Saleh is credited for the restoration of security in northeastern Kenya. Appointed the regional coordinator here about 6 months ago, his administration has rained terror on terrorists.
Yes, Ambassador Saleh has been an asset. He has been very effective for several reasons. One, he was an experienced provincial administrator before he retired. He has a wealth of experience in terms of security. He comes from that area. He has a passion for the job. And so when the president requested him, in fact, he was recalled from retirement.
He's a good administrator, a no-nonsense man in terms of really, getting to the details of things.
I would say confidently that what happened in 2015 and what happened in Westgate will not happen again in this country. I can assure you.
The Westgate attack, just like the Garissa University attack, heralded a change in command at the helm of the Interior Affairs and Coordination of National Government Ministry. Joseph Nkaiseri, a retired Major General believed to have the iron fist to tame the runaway insecurity, would be plucked from Parliament to replace Joseph Olelenku. Today, Nkaiseri and Saleh have formed a formidable team, together with the Inspector General's office and other security agencies, to tame the terror threat in Kenya.
I'm very, very happy. We work very well with him. I talk to him on a daily basis, morning and evening.
With the help of the Wananchi and our strategists, we've been able to arrest or capture more than 200 Al-Shabaab terrorists who are now in custody at various stages. We have been able to unearth arsenals of firearms and ammunition and explosives in Garissa, in the refugee camps, in Mandera and Wajir as well.
Despite the security measures you have put in place, the porous border still remains a challenge, doesn't it?
Porous borders is a very big issue because, it is flat. Anybody can come in very, very easily, even if we try our best to man it.
Amidst heavy criticism, the government considered erecting a wall between Kenya and Somalia to ward off the Al-Shabaab terror group believed to be breeding in Somalia. The plan for now, according to the top security officials, is to put up partial walls along the nearly 800-kilometer stretch. The government intends to open border points, each stretching 30 kilometers in Mandera, Wajir, Garissa and Lamu.
We are going to put a fence, and then we are going to put a ditch, and then we are going to put a road where we will be monitoring the border. And eventually we will also put communication and put cameras where we can be able also, even from Nairobi, to see the movement along the border with the command post.
In future, if this insecurity continues, if Somalia will not be able to stabilize, because 25 years of stability is just too long, then we have to no other way but to put our wall on the 800 kilometers, the way the Israelis have done in Palestine.
July 7th, a second attack at the Mandera quarry mines disrupts the peace that the northeastern region was beginning to enjoy. Majority of the quarry miners were from Nyeri, nearly 1,000 kilometers away. 36 of them died in the first attack in December last year, and another 14 in this year's July attack.
Sisi tulikuwa tumelala kwa nyumba, lakini kuna wengine walikuwa wanalala nje juu ya nini ya joto. Sasa tulisikia kama mgurumo, kama ni earthquake. Na ni geti ilikuwa imefujiwa na nini, sijui kama ni bomu. Sisi kutoka kuenda kuangalia nje, na wao wengine wanaingia na wacha dugwa, wacha pigwa. Tukagongana, mimi nikaanguka chini, wakanilalia. Wakiwa juu yangu walipigwa tena. Mimi nikanyamaza tu. Walikuwa wanamulika na toshi. Mimi nililala chini tu nikiwa na watu 6 juu yangu na wamedugwa.
Among the 6 people were his brother and cousin. They died instantly.
Sasa kuanzia hapo tulipoteza kasi, hata vitu vyombo ya kasi tuliacha huko tu na nguo zetu. Sasa mimi nilisikia gari ya miraa inakuja. Nalipicha gari 3. Mimi nikaenda kwa bus station hiyo ya Mandera. Tukaingia. Tulilala tukikuja usiku.
Hata nilikuwa nasema sitaenda Mandera, lakini shida inibidi niende mpaka huko.
A bullet shot to his back missed critical organs by inches.
Hapa ni mahali walikuwa wanatolea maganda yake. Sidai kutana na siku kama hiyo. Mpaka leo hiyo mambo huwa inanisumbua. Kwanza yenye tulikuwa tumeenda na huko Mandera hiyo. Ilikuwa ni siku yetu ya kwanza kwenda huko Mandera.
In the depths of the earth, the work they did in Mandera continues. This time, the heat isn't searing. But compared to the fortunes they fetched in Mandera, it's as though they are doing no work at all.
Ninakwambia life imekuwa ngumu sana. Sijui nifanye nini, hata bibi amenishinda. Juu hata kama ni nyumba nimeshindwa kulipa mpaka nyumba za yenyewe. Niko na miezi 3 bila kama sijalipa hiyo nyumba. Chenye kinifanya nitoke hapa ni juu ya hii mashinda. Sasa ukiangalia kupakia gari ni 200. Mimi vile tumepakia tukiwa watu wengi. Kwa hivyo hata ni kama 20, ni kama shilingi 20. Mandera huko per week ni kama 10,000.
And now there are too many of them here. These quarries cannot fend for all of them.
Sasa tunakaa hapa tukitegea kama lori hiyo tuweke. Juu hata vyombo ya kazi hatuna. Tuliacha huko tu.
His wife has to join him at the quarries to help the family pull through each day.
Hapa naingia saa 1 na ninatoka hapa saa 12. Na kwa lori tunajaza na tuseme na wiki 2. Kama hakuna hii vitu tunachukua ya kupiga, hata inaenda wiki 3 bila kujaza. Na lori ikiingia tunabeba na inatubebea na 2,500.
Unaweza penda mzee arudi Mandera?
Washa akae hapa. Tukule shida na yeye nikiwa namuona.
But it's not just the quarry miners and other terror attack victims who have felt the brunt of terrorism. The tourism industry took a nosedive. Hotel occupancy at the coast dropped to below 20% during the peak season last year. But fortunes are now changing. In August, occupancy in Mombasa's hotels rose to 60% as projections indicate the industry could recover fully by the end of this year.
We have done big achievement. We have got a command center which is operational. Now we can monitor you in the whole town of Nairobi and Mombasa. We know where you are working and we can see you. And we can even get to you and know your name. So we are very serious. So don't try to do monkey business in the CB of Nairobi. We want to replicate this in all big cities.
The Interior Ministry, however, says it is facing serious budgetary constraints.
As I speak to you now, I have a deficit of 60 billion. And we put in the budget, and the Parliamentary Budget Committee under Honorable Mutava slash it. They didn't understand. I am trying to build a capacity for this country to be able to secure itself.
In the meantime, security agencies hope that Kenyans can begin to take seriously the Nyumba Kumi initiative.
They must take seriously. This is what we are trying to say. This is what I plead. Nyumba Kumi. It doesn't mean anything more than citizen participation in national security. You know how Kenyans are. Very complacent people, outgoing people, Kenyans are not very, very conscious about security.
Although 2015 has been a turbulent year for Kenyans, it's the year Kenya defied the terrorists' agenda to cause fear and division. The Westgate shopping mall that was the site of an incomprehensible massacre just 2 years ago has been reopened and business is booming once again. Sylvia Chebet, Citizen TV.